Welcome to the Best Years Podcast. This is Dr. Darlene at whatstopsyou.com, speaking to Generation X and baby boomers who want more. I'll share power, skills, and tools with you to get your mojo back on a conscious and unconscious level. Be ready for real and lasting change. So you're 40 to 50, 60 plus with no family. Yeah, and in society today, that looks wrong, doesn't it? Isn't that too bad? And we're trained that we need to grow up, have families, and that's who's going to take care of you when you're older. So if you don't have kids, the big question is, well, who's going to take care of you when you're older? ? And who are you going to have Thanksgiving with? And surely, if you have no family, you've thought about that. And those are true feelings, and they're pretty big. Well, let me just tell you some of my thoughts. First of all, I went on this walk today. We go 3 or 4 miles really fast, nearly every day or every other day, because I alternate the gym. And my best friend is the best. So, and she's pretty much family. I would say she is family because she's my best friend. She understands me, and there's nothing I can't say to her that she doesn't understand. And she's like my favorite person to be with because I can totally be me. And so her name is Darlene Taylor. She's me because she and I are the same person, and we get along. And we get along so well that sometimes I may not even want to be with other people. So if you stand up for me right now, and if you wouldn't mind going over to a mirror and look in the mirror, and that person is your best friend. That person understands you. Now you've got part of you that is maybe suppressed and part of you that has conflict, and that's all. The goal is to get y'all in one piece where you're getting along with you. And that's the place to start. So if you have no family, you do have that person that's in the mirror that's your family, and you can depend on them, and they're there everywhere you go. They eat with you. They sleep with you every night. They go potty with you. They go on vacations with you. They are always there. So check out my self-esteem podcasts and YouTube videos for more about that. For today, you have no family. Well, here's the facts. Go look out your door, and there's people everywhere. Go take a bus, a train, a plane, or a car. There's people everywhere. And there's a lot of people who have no family. Now, I have a big family, but when I was going through a hard time a few years ago, 5 years ago, and I moved away, 4 hours away from any family, I really didn't connect with them much, only because my kids were grown, they're doing their thing. My siblings are having grandkids, they're doing their thing. My mom I call every once in a while, and my dad, and that's wonderful, but I don't do anything with them, and I don't usually have Thanksgiving with them. And what I found was what it's a little bit like to have no family. And what I did was create an amazing amount of friends, which is like I can't even explain to you what an amazing amount of friends I created. I had Thanksgiving with them, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, and you know what? Sometimes they're easier than family. So, two sides of my mouth. My family's wonderful, but the other side of my mouth is, hey, sometimes family's just plain old drama, and you know what? It's just one less thing to think of. Now, with all due respect and understanding and empathy for you, the facts are, if you don't have kids and immediate family you can hang out with, that's what is. So let's go with what is. Whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, it's what it is right now. And there are people everywhere. Now, I can do a whole nother podcast on how to connect with people. I'll mention a few things at the end. But I want to start with the family you do have, and that's the person in the mirror. And as I was walking today with my best friend, I was talking to myself, and I was so cracking myself up because I was dancing. Hey, and I don't care. I was walking on the cement. I can't even think of the word. The curb right on this main road, just walking on the curb, practicing my balance. And I didn't care what anyone thought of me because my friend and I were having so much fun. I was kind of laughing, and I went probably a quarter mile on that little edge. And that was kind of good training. And then I thought of all the fun things I'm going to try to visualize because it's yucky outside and overcast and there's no leaves on the trees. And I just moved here from a place called St. George, which is beautiful year round, orange rocks, green grass, vibrant sky. And now I'm in Salt Lake City. So I took a video and said, look, this is my story. You see those trees? They have lots of green leaves. And I totally made up a story about pretending I was in the leaves. And then I went on to pretend that the snow that had fallen, there wasn't snow on where I was walking, but residual snow. I pretended that was pots of gold. And I pretended all the things I wanted. I pretended the sky was blue because if you visualize something in your mind, your unconscious kind of starts to think it's true. My mood elevated. I put on Queen because I just saw Bohemian Rhapsody and I danced a little bit in my mind and a little bit with my feet to Queen. I had such a good time. I was listening to Mamma Mia, doing my thing. I was recording myself doing a shadow dance. I was recording my shadow doing a dance. Isn't that just so funny? Yes, I cracked myself up. And if you saw me, you'd just see I was kind of walking along with a little clip in my step. But inside, I was so alive. And isn't that what you want? Do you want to blame anything ever on anything? Because if you do, don't. Blame will always take you wee down the every time. In every single solitary way. So don't do that. Don't blame anyone. If you don't have a family, you just don't right now. So what? There's people everywhere. And when you're ready, you will reach out and you will be really involved. And I'll tell you how at the end of this. Some things to do if you're living alone and depressed. Is that something that you feel? I've felt that before. Like I say, I had no family for the first time. I was single. I didn't know one single solitary person in that city when I moved there. By the end, I had started a singles group and it grew to 750. I picked 12 people out of that group and we all kind of became really close friends, like Friends, the show Friends, and we call ourselves the besties. Still to this day and always, they're my besties. They're my family. And in addition, I teach college and I teach gender studies and family studies. And in family studies, the definition today of family is not blood, no longer. It's people that you connect with. So you can do that when you are ready. So things to do, what to do when you're alone are so many. I just can't even stand it. I just wrote down in 2 seconds a list of 8 things. And this is what I came up with. And these are things I did when I was living alone and I was kind of depressed. And okay, so the first thing I did is I got a new bedspread. You can go to Walmart and get a bed in a bag or Bed Bath & Beyond or wherever you want to go. Get your room all wonderful. If you're a girl, get it all girly, cutesy. If you're a guy, go get some bullhead or something you're going to put on the wall or get some tough hunting something. Make your room reflect you. I went in and I thought, I want to make this where I don't care if anyone looks at it except me. So I got yellow. Listen to this. I got a yellow bedspread that had purple lines in it. I got big, huge purple and yellow pillows. Then my little deck that was out front. Yes, I did. Just like, what's that show? Sparks movie where she paints the floor yellow. Can't think of Safe Haven. And I moved the furniture and I painted the floor purple because I can. It was so fun because no one's going to see my deck but me or anyone I invite in my bedroom, which would just be besties or great friends, and they would love it. Then I put sayings all over the wall that I wanted to believe, like, I love my life. There's things I didn't believe at all, trust me. But I lied to myself because then my unconscious started to believe it. I love this time. I have a healthy body. I'm manifesting the man of my dreams, blah, blah, blah. And then I put up all these sticky notes. And I started with 8 by 10 papers. So they were big all over my room, and yes, embarrassing if anyone saw them, so be careful who you invite in. I got stuffed animals, went and bought a bunch of bears. So what I would tell you is go do that. By yourself, you and your best friend. Decorate your room. Get it just so expressive. Yay. All right, write these down. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. And that's just the start. Okay, the next one. Hey, you have an evening to yourself. And you're just hanging out. You don't want to spend a lot of money, but you have some wine. And have a little wine tasting party by yourself. Go fork up 2 bottles of wine or 3 at the store. Come home and then just pour a little tiny bit and taste them with your roasted chicken and guacamole and hummus, and have this really cute little wine tasting party. You might even go to the supermarket and get some flowers to put in a vase to put there for your little dinner. You and your best friend, and just smile. Like I said, there's people outside everywhere all day. When you're ready, you'll venture outside. You can do that another time. Okay, one of my favorite things is hot tub party. By my little self with my friend, yeah. And crank that puppy up warm and make sure no one's there and you're around, and you get in with your bathing suit or not, and you have your drink with you, whatever your drink of choice is, and you can turn on the best meditation music ever, Pandora relaxation music, and meditate. It's another thing that I do when I'm alone with no family around. Another thing that's super important to do is to look outside and find a sacred place or a safe place. And in any terrain or any place, there's always that one rock or that one grove or that one park that you find is your safe place or sacred place, a place to meditate, a place to be, a place to express yourself. And I would definitely recommend finding that place. And go there at least once a week. And I have one in St. George up on a rock. It takes about 30 minutes to get there. And I sit there and I talk to my dad who's passed on. And I talk to my sister who's passed on. And I talk to my dogs that have passed on. And I talk to God and I thank Him and I do gratitude prayers. And just makes me want to cry right now, because gratitude is the highest vibration and love that we know on this earth. And gratitude is the pure love of God and creation. And to be thankful for what you do have right now. You have that person who's staring at you in the mirror, who's a beautiful, wonderful soul. I have worked with people for 20 years and thousands of people. And I have never put my eyes upon or heard the voice of a person who wasn't important. So important. You are, and you're discovering that, and you're starting with your best friend, which is you, to really know that before you venture out to others, to create family systems of friends. Couple other ideas. Volunteer. And blah, 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 blah. I always hear volunteer, and I think, oh, brother. And you watch your soap operas, and always volunteering, and you think, oh, brother. But at least that's what I think. And you know what? It's on my list. I wish I could screenshot it for you right now, because it's on my list right now to volunteer somewhere. So within the week or two, because I don't write down things I don't end up doing, because I commit to myself. And me, myself, and I are going to volunteer somewhere. A pet shelter. I have volunteered at the senior games. And we were the chip girls. We removed the chips off the shoes of those who ran in the half marathon. And so I'm going to do that here in Salt Lake and find somewhere to volunteer. So I'll let you know how that goes, and that's exciting. And that'll get you out the door as well. You can do book clubs if you like to read. I'm more of a social person, so I don't mean to always say my things are right, because they're right for me. If you're more of a private person, you can do a book club. You can do a book club by yourself. Wouldn't that be so cool? Hi, Tink. Can you hear my dog coming in with her little Tinkerbell bell around her neck? Hi, sweetie. Oh, I'm going to talk to you about getting another dog in a minute. But anyway, book club is kind of fun by yourself to kind of hang out and say, okay, I'm reading my book, and then I'm going to talk to myself or record or tell a friend or call a friend or put a Facebook post on your book you're reading and have a little group on Facebook, which is another really super great thing because all people in your circle can be considered your family. So, speaking of dogs, I'm kind of obsessed right now. This is something you could go do if you are thinking, what should I do when I'm alone? And baby boomers aging alone. Hey, we don't need to be alone. Yes, we love ourselves and we're our best friends, but hey, there's no need to be totally alone. And when your dog's here, you're actually not totally alone. So I'm going to do that one. And I want a big, huge, badass, black German Shepherd named Olympus. I know. I'm so excited. I even called some breeders today. Now that's a whole thing to do. And that will be super fun because that's something me, myself, and I can focus on, getting the collar, the crate, all of that fun stuff. So there's so much to do. I could go on and on and on and on and on about things to do when you're alone and how great it can be and how you can create family by going to meetup.com, which is a site that has all sorts of events with like-minded people, and you can create a family system there with friends. They're on meetup.com, and then put in where you live. So meetup.com Phoenix, meetup.com, Ontario, wherever you live. And then look on them and sign up for the meetups that work for you. Like there's basket weaving, there's dog walking, there's painting, there's book clubs, there's hiking groups, there's everything in the world, spiritual meditation groups, and you sign up for them, and then you get alerts when they're having a meetup, and you don't have to go. Or you can if you want. Like I said in St. George, I created a meetup called Totally Just for Fun Singles, and it grew from me and my girlfriend to 750 people. And in any event, maybe 2 to 30 people, maybe 51 times showed up. And then from that group created girlfriends that are now eternal friends. There's been 10 to 15 marriages that I know of that came from that group. So meetup.com, I'm all over that one when you're ready. So what do I do if I'm 50 plus with no family? Now you have a bunch of ideas. Connect with yourself first. Enjoy yourself. Build your self-esteem. Learn how to be more social if that's what you want. And when you're ready, go out and create families through your friends. So you can live your best years. You are now in your very best years you've ever had right now. So enjoy what you're going to do the rest of the day. Make your decisions, follow through, decide, and go do it, and live those best years. Please give me comments on how this is going for you and if my feedback helped you and what that's like for you. We'll talk soon. Don't be a stranger. You're now my family. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe to my channel so we can hang out. Also go to www.whatstopsyou.com for notes to this podcast and learn more power skills to indeed live the best years of your life.